The little gardener Anya loved spending weekends with her grandfather, who had the most beautiful garden in the neighborhood. Rows of roses, marigolds, and sunflowers stood tall under the sun, while vegetables and herbs grew in neat, flourishing beds. The garden was a colorful paradise that everyone admired. One sunny afternoon, as Anya admired the flowers, she asked, "Grandpa, how do you make your garden so beautiful? I wish I could grow something like this." Grandfather smiled and handed her a small pouch of seeds. "Here, Anya. These are tomato seeds. Why don't you grow your own little garden?" Anya's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I'll have a garden as amazing as yours in no time," she declared. Anya planted the seeds in a corner of the garden, just as her grandfather had shown her. She watered them every morning and checked on them eagerly every evening. But after a few days, when she saw no sign of growth, she grew frustrated. Her friend Ravi visited and laughed at her efforts. "You've been staring at dirt for days. Maybe your seeds are broken," he teased. Anya frowned. "Grandpa said they'd grow. Maybe they just need more water," she reasoned, and she poured extra water on the soil, hoping for faster result. The next morning, Anya ran to her grandfather. "Grandpa, nothing is happening. I watered them a lot yesterday, but there's still no plant." Her grandfather chuckled softly. "Anya, you can't rush nature. Plants grow in their own time. They need water, sunlight, and most of all, patience." "But it's so hard to wait," Anya said, frowning. Grandfather knelt beside her and said, "Let me tell you a secret, Anya. A garden is not just about growing plants. It's about growing yourself too. Patience, care, and hard work. These are the real fruits of gardening." Inspired but still unsure, Anya decided to give her seeds more time. She followed her grandfather's advice, watering them just enough, making sure they got sunlight and removing weeds from the soil. Every day she checked on her patch, hoping to see a sign of life. One morning, after nearly 2 weeks, Anya saw a tiny green sprout poking out of the soil. Her heart leapt with joy and she ran to her grandfather. "Grandpa, it's growing. It's growing," she shouted. Grandfather smiled proudly. "See, your patience and care have paid off. Now you must continue to nurture it." As days turned into weeks, Anya's little tomato plant grew taller. She watered it diligently, tied it gently to a stick for support, and even talked to it sometimes, just as her grandfather did with his plants. Soon tiny green tomatoes began to appear. When the tomatoes ripened, they were red, juicy, and perfect. Anya picked them carefully and brought a basket to her grandfather. "These are for you, Grandpa," she said proudly. Grandfather beamed. "You've done a wonderful job, Anya. But what will you do with the rest?" Anya thought for a moment. Then she remembered Ravi's teasing and decided to visit him. She handed him a few tomatoes. "These are from my garden," she said with a smile. Ravi looked surprised but grateful. "You really grew these? They're amazing," Ravi said, munching on one. "Maybe I'll try planting something too." Word spread about Anya's little garden, and soon, other children in the neighborhood wanted to grow plants too. Anya shared her seeds and taught them what she'd learned from her grandfather: to be patient, caring, and hardworking. Before long, small gardens began popping up in backyards and balconies, each filled with life and color. The moral: growth, whether in a garden or in life, takes time, care, and patience. Hard work and nurturing efforts yield not only beautiful results but also valuable lessons that can inspire others.